they make it seem like life is about graduating college. Do you feel like you're done? Hey YouTube, it's Samaya. I'm back at it again with another video. This is episode 2 of the Let's Get Into It podcast. If you watched the first one and you're coming to watch the second one, I deeply appreciate you. So we're going to get into introduction.
Hi, I'm Noelle. I'm a college graduate and I'm about to be 27.
All right, and that is my aunt. So I'm going to go ahead and start with my devotion book. As you guys know, I start off with a little bit of Jesus, okay? So today is April 18th, and I'm just going to read the scripture and kind of just talk a little bit about what that meant, okay? So the title is, He is Real. His divine power has given us everything we need for a godly life through our knowledge of Him, who called us by His own glory and goodness. Through these, He has given us His very great and precious promises. The test is often measured by applying some kind of force or foreign substance to that which is being tested. Determining whether something is made of real gold can be accomplished by a number of ways. Perhaps the most simple is by rubbing the gold on an unglazed ceramic plate. The color of the mark left on the plate determines the authenticity of the gold. Real gold will leave a gold mark. Fake gold will leave a black mark. You can see the analogy, can't you? Sometime in our lives, we will undergo an authenticity test. We might be put through several daily that mark will leave when we encounter those tests. When we brush up against difficulty, if we are authentic Christians, the mark we leave will be gold, the true mark of Christ. God, you are real. You are good. You have given us an example to how to remain authentic in a world full of fraud and deception. Thank you for the great and the precious promises. I press on your strength today. So what I'm getting from that is to live your life as a Christian will determine how authentic you treat that. And like it said in the scripture, what's gold is gold. You can be tested each day to determine, are you a real Christian? Where did you get from that?
I was also thinking in more of a general sense of people will know who you are based on your actions, and that will always reveal your true self.
Okay, that's pretty good. So I also have this motivation jar, that's what I call it. I made it at the end of 2024, and it was just a thing that I would pick from either daily, whenever I feel like it, just to help me do something new. I'd like for you to pick it and read out what you've got. I believe some of these are general, so it shouldn't just apply to me.
Read.
Okay. What do you take from that?
Read thyself.
I like how you didn't just think like, oh, just gotta read a book. Like, no.
That was my first thought, but
But like getting into a little bit more though.
a little bit more, yeah. Like considering about
or
actions.
Has there been a book that you started reading that you haven't finished yet?
Many.
Okay. Maybe you should start and read a book.
Yeah,
Read that
I should finish those books.
Mine says, get in a hot tub. Wow, that sounds nice. I don't know when I'll get that opportunity next, but I definitely do want to get into a hot tub. All right, I'll take that from you. And we're going to get into these questions. The topic of today is a college graduate. The title is, wait, I'm done? Do you really feel like you're done?
Of school or
Yeah,
life?
I just like the milestone of 20s, I guess. Because you know how it's always perceived as you're in your 20s, graduate college, like they make it seem like life is about graduating college. Do you feel like you're done?
I think because of COVID, since I graduated in 2020, it made it feel extremely hollow. And then 2 years of just basically being isolated kind of had that, launching to adulthood, it was stalled. So it never really felt like, this is a milestone. It was just like, I got a piece of paper in the mail with my degree. And so I was like, oh, wow, hi, degree I worked 4 years on, and Like, wow, okay. But now I got no celebration, no nothing, just me in my room with my piece of paper in the middle of the summer alone. Like, it was just...
And we were both robbed. I'm also class of 2020, but high school and college.
Yeah.
So we really went through the same thing in a way. And that's just terrible.
It really was just like, wow, okay, that's... I already knew it was a piece of paper, but it kind of felt even more so without having a big ceremony.
What was your initial education goal going into college?
When I first, technically, I was aiming for creative writing when I was looking for colleges in high school. Then I realized how expensive like those kind of schools are.
Wow.
And so I was like, okay, let me pivot. What else do I went to? I went to psychology.
Okay.
And that's where I majored in coming into Cal State.
All right.
And then I switched it to business because I was like, oh wait, the more I learned about the psychology classes and how long it took, I was like, I'm not gonna have to do that.
So I know a lot of people think when they're in college and they keep changing their major, or some people that are undecided and they want to go to college, do they really need to make up their mind before they even start college, or can they just start with something at least, and then as they're going on, they can change their major at any time?
You honestly, I would suggest to save money, to just do, if you're really not sure of anything, go to a community college get the associate's level at least.
Okay.
And if trying to make sure, okay, do they accept those units for the university you may want to go to? Just keep that planned up. But if you want to go straight to university, that first year and a half or so, you're just doing GE classes. You're not doing any major classes.
Okay.
So you're fully able to just take your time.
All right. You already answered this question a little bit on how COVID did affect your education, but you would more say, like, because you were in the last semester when COVID
That was
happened.
my last quarter, yeah.
So how was that?
We did do online. Those classes weren't all suited for online. I did an art class, and the teacher was definitely not prepped on how to handle the online aspect. So it was more like we were teaching her how to use the system.
Wow.
And she was also something. But other than that, the other classes were kind of smooth sailing.
Okay.
I was just kind of getting in my room, just taking classes.
So did you kind of just wake up one day, got an email, and you're like, class is canceled? Or was it something that was leading up? Were you on break? Was there spring break? How did that happen? Like the announcement of school canceling?
I believe the initial start of COVID-ish was around right before spring break. So I think I was just about to finish my finals and everything. So I just went to spring break, and then my next quarter, it led to right into online.
Okay, so it kind of was a little good in a way because it was like, all right, finish a little bit, you're on break, and then you came back to online.
Yeah, just straight.
Okay. What was your favorite thing about college?
My roommates.
Yeah?
They were the best thing. They made it so much more enjoyable and just easier to manage. Coming home to a community, that was just fantastic. It helped me grow as a person, feel more like I was independent, adult, like, hey, let's and also just more spontaneous. I felt like I was coming out of my shell more. And we would just go to the grocery store at 10 minutes before closing, because we were those people.
So many adventures.
Just jump in the car and just go, yeah.
So for people that don't know whether they want to live on campus or not, what's a piece of information or just a little encouragement to help them decide if they want to live on campus or not?
So with campus, I didn't live on campus.
Oh.
I lived in this apartment complex that was separated from the college.
Okay.
And they just it was literally across the street. It was way cheaper.
Okay.
They were so much cheaper than going to just the dorms.
And they're across the street, that's crazy.
Yes. So I would say look at your options, see if there are apartment complexes like that, and then you can check in what's the prices. with college, you have to think about not only paying for the room and board, you have to worry about that card for your food. Like, I have to manage how much you're actually buying food throughout the quarter. I know that was stressing people the hell out. And then you have to get parking. Like,
so much.
It was a lot of money. So just having across the street, when I had a bike, like, would ride to school, or I would walk. It was very simple. It was today's prices. It was amazingly cheap, and I had a lot of fun.
Wow. So my take from that experience, it was a little easier to make friends in college than high school, or how would you say this?
No.
It wasn't as easy?
No.
Well,
really, my roommates were the only reason I had more than one friend from college. Like that.
And I can just imagine if you're living on campus, you'll probably have more experience to have friends.
With Cal State San Bernardino, which is where I graduated from, it was more of a commuter school, so nobody stayed on campus.
Oh, okay.
So it was just like, yeah, the school had events occasionally, but unless we were bribed with food or potentially money, nobody was really going.
What? I'm over here thinking like it was so fun in the university. I watched Monsters University. I'm thinking, there was like a whole bunch of frat parties, a lot of distractions. That's how I'm thinking college was.
I mean, people were partying. My roommate was a partier. She would go to clubs all the time. I just wasn't like that. I'm an introvert, so I was just not about that life. I did do occasionally some of the events, though.
Okay. How were your courses spread out for you throughout the years?
So for Cal State San Bernardino, it's not that way now.
Okay.
But it was a quarter system. So it was 10 weeks. So you go from September to December, and then January to March, and then March to June. So it was, I liked that system because it was very short. You just fast paced. Once by 8 weeks, I was gone. So having just like, I just need to get through finals and then I'm done was perfect for me. But I know that after I graduated, they did switch to the semester system, which is basically the same as just typical like high school and stuff.
Okay. Wow.
It was like 4 units. So 4 units was 4 classes.
And I can see it. Like 8 weeks is not that bad, and that's definitely something where you're like, okay, in 2 weeks,
you get a final. You get a midterm immediately.
Okay, I think I would like that too, actually. Did you gain any beneficial knowledge in college? College knowledge.
God, I got that one. Latin or something. But yeah, I managed to take some things out of what I learned from college. Since I was a business major, it did open my eyes to how this crazy system works, and to keep in mind, okay, this is how they're thinking.
Wow.
But as a consumer, I judge and whatever, and I have to take. My father will keep reminding me, hey, this is in business. This is what the perspective is, and like he's right. That's what we learned. But also, one of the favorite things I learned from my business major was the aspect of management and what a true leader is. Because when you finally see an example of that, you now have standards for how you deserve to be treated.
Wow.
And every manager I met, only a few have been able to do that.
And here's the thing for me. When I used to hear people say, I'm going to college for business, I'm just like, what are you talking about? Like, you don't know how to sell stuff? Like, I didn't understand and fully comprehend that the business major is a lot more than that.
Oh yeah, because my official degree is business administration with a concentration in management. So you
Bougie.
Yeah,
Bougie right there. Y'all get the degree. So does that mean you can just jump up and start a business?
No. I mean, you could do that without a degree.
Okay.
Like any children make businesses all the time. You don't need the degree to make the business. The degree just helps to prepare you for the challenges that come with having a business.
So that degree literally taught you the business aspect of things. So you know how to market in a way like.
No.
I'm just trying to fully understand how that helped you.
Like the business management degree, like the section of it itself.
Okay.
was kind of like, here's a little bit of everything. Here's some finance, here's a marketing class. Like, we're going to just give you a little bit of everything to give you just a general idea. And then when you get into your concentration, that's when you're starting to really specialize. So people either specialize into like marketing or human resources or management or other fields as well. And just that's when you start digging into it more. But management, and it's more management I learned was more about psychology.
Okay.
And at least that I found was important. Psychology and how to treat people.
So to manage a psychology clinic, basically, is what you learn?
No. As far as like psychology of people.
Still not understanding.
Like how,
how to manipulate people.
No, how to manipulate people. No.
But like, in a business way to make more dollars.
No.
Okay, because you gotta break it down. I'm still not understanding.
It was more.
Sorry, y'all, I'm a little slow.
You're fine. You're good. It was more about literally we were being taught how to be nice to people.
Okay.
How to treat people with respect. How to be a leader. That's where it really comes down to being a leader, being somebody that they can rely on, being somebody that they can go to, and taking responsibility. Like that, it was a lot more just being a good person, being humble. Making sure you listen to other people, making sure you accommodate others, recognizing their strengths and differences, and know how to like, hey, this person's good at this thing, but they're weak on this. Maybe I should actually move them towards the thing they're good at.
Okay.
And like, and vice versa. And maybe like if they want to challenge themselves, you can help them with that. It was more about just being a real leader. That I found important. Now, sure, you go into.
Now I understand.
Yeah.
Because if you wanted to be a manager anywhere, that degree helps you understand, like how you said. Okay, this person's good at that, so I'm gonna place them over there. You kind of know how to manage people, not only money. You know how to manage people. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that definitely makes more sense. And for the big question everybody wants to know, was college a waste of time? In your own opinion, guys, and just a disclaimer, we're not trying to tell you guys not to go to school or anything like that. This is just an opinion, okay?
I mean, I was gonna say that. I would say it heavily depends on what you're doing and what you're trying to accomplish, what industry you want to be in.
Okay.
Because, for example, if you want to be in a business major, specifically management, just go to work. Don't do school. Like, at most, get your associates at a community college for cheap and just work your way up the ladder at some like retail store or whatever.
You would have told yourself that 6 years ago?
If I knew I had to do it, I wouldn't have done the management degree.
Wow.
Like, coming out of college, it was a huge just slap in the face when I realized.
Oh my gosh. It's not funny, but it's just like.
It really was. They
I can imagine.
don't care about your degree. They don't.
And it's like there's people on the other side of the screen that are trying to find jobs and they're just like, needs a degree, needs this, needs that. And it's like you said, it really, really does depend what it feels. So, wow, guys.
They want experience. The degree doesn't
work
really
your
matter.
way up is a good thing. Like, if you're management and you're working at McDonald's currently, you've been there for about 4 years, try to look into a lead position. Okay, you've been a lead for 6 years, how about you start managing? I understand what you mean by that, by working your way up, because it's based off of promotion over there. They don't care about degrees.
And even you can get up to a management role without a degree. Like,
wow.
It's really the upper management that they want really a degree. So like your directors and stuff like that. When you're just a regular old store manager, you don't need a degree for that.
Wow. So what is your new plan and what are you doing with the degree?
Diddly squat.
I wish you would have brought the degree. It would have been nice to show YouTube how an official degree looks like, but I kind of did not tell you to bring it, but at the same time, it would have been nice.
Just put it away.
You don't have a picture of it at all?
No, not at all.
That's how unproud you are. So yeah, I'm gonna insert an official picture of the degree, that piece of paper that came in the mail. Any tips for anybody that doesn't know where to go?
If you really don't know, start something. rather it be a job
Okay.
or like an associate's degree at a community college. Start something, because I have conflicting feelings about college itself and the structure that it is. I will say there's a difference when you're talking to people, whether they've been to college or not. And that's just from the GEs itself. Like, I would recommend at least getting your GEs done, because that provides you a level of like well-rounded knowledge of the world and people that helps you tremendously.
All right, so now we're gonna do let's get into it or get out. This is a segment where we talk about something that we want to get into. So if you guys don't agree with us about anything, oh well, we're just talking about what we want to talk about. So what's your get into it topic?
My get into it topic is something that I actually saw from TikTok, a question that kind of got me thinking. What is the purpose of romantic relationships? And like that really was like, okay, it was under the context of like an autism test. And they're trying to see like how your response is, whether it be like more of the societal version or like just straight up tactical type of version. And I was like, okay, let me see. Like that's really a romantic relationship. What people will usually say, oh, it's for love and companionship. Mm-hmm. It's like usual milestone in relationships in life. Most people do it. Reproduction purposes, all of that. But I was really thinking about it, and I wrote a little blurb of like definition I would like to share. When boiled down, the purpose of romantic relationships is the enjoyment of doing interactions, activities with someone under a romantic lens. That lens is defined by societal, cultural, and personal expectations and perspectives. Everything that can be done romantically can also be achieved platonically, as romantic feelings, activities, and benefits are just platonic ones under a different font or filter.
That's deep.
So basically it's just saying, hey, a romantic relationship, it's purely a human construct that has no purpose other than you enjoying, or if you wanting to express those romantic feelings that you have to another person in that lens. Like a friend date or a friend hangout, it's no different from when you do in a when we do in a relationship. The only difference is you guys said it was a date. It's the same interaction. You can go to a fancy dinner and with your friends, just what label you put on it and those romantic feelings you have towards that person. That's what makes it a date. So when you I would not say a romantic feelings are any stronger than platonic feelings. The only difference is how your body reacts to that person.
Yeah.
So for example, if you feel, I feel a connection with this person, you can feel that way platonically towards someone, you can feel that way romantically. The only difference, when you feel it romantically, you feel, the butterflies and excitement and all of that. That's just how, I would say your body's more sensitive when it's someone you're attracted to.
You know what? What if scientists haven't really did more research on humans when it comes to mating? Because what if it's okay, you're supposed to be platonic, whenever you're ready to mate, you mate, and then once the baby comes, be platonic again. But as the time the baby is being concepted and made, y'all not supposed to be platonic with each other. Y'all supposed to be having a good time with somebody else having those platonic, and then it'll come back when the baby's around. And then what if that's really how the human race is supposed to be like? That would be crazy, right?
That would be interesting.
Because it's the way how it's perceived as you're only supposed to be platonic with your spouse or whatever. That sounds so unhealthy. You should have friends and feel that type of way.
What do you mean only supposed to be platonic with them?
Platonic means this friendship, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just saying a lot of relationships in this day and age is you're not allowed to have friends. There's jealousy and issues going on with that. I just feel
that's not right.
Exactly. It's not right for that reason of how you said you can have those same exact feelings with anybody.
Same intensity, just
keep the romantic side of it to that one person.
Yeah. Or multiple people.
Yeah. And then still be platonic with everyone. Like, that would be a good thing to really like get into.
That should be the norm, but for some reason,
humans are very controlling and
possessive, but that's more because of their own issues.
Yeah.
They need to really work on themselves.
Yeah.
But it really should be, hey, I have my friends, you have your friends. Yeah, we have date night every single Friday, but guess what? I haven't talked to my friends in 3 months because life or whatever. I like this Friday, this is the only time we have scheduled. I want to go hang with my friends. We can miss out on date night. There's some couples or like people that are like, yeah, no, I want that date night. Like, no, it's just like it's about support system. Support system is everything, because guess what? If you leave all your friends and ditch them because you got a brand new boo, guess what? That boo go out the door, you have no friends and you're all alone.
And then also that boo isn't covering every single aspect of your life.
Nor should they.
You cannot put all that on one person.
No.
Continue to have your friends. And if your partner has a problem with it, they have a problem like
with
deep
themselves.
Down. And that's not healthy at all. Why can't you have friendship with other people without them thinking you're gonna do something with them? Unless you actually get caught doing something with them, they shouldn't even be mad that you're going to go see a friend. Like, I suggest everyone has both female and male friends. It doesn't matter which type of relationship you're in. Everyone should just have friends. It'll be cool.
If you don't trust me, that tells me we have a problem in this relationship. There is no security in this relationship.
All right.
That's something we need to work on.
I did think that was a good topic. My little get into a topic is about fashion. You can dress however you want, and it doesn't need to be designer. I literally have on a little bit of like Fashion Nova, Shein, and Forever 21. I don't care about having Gucci and Prada. I don't care for that look. You can dress how you want to dress. Stop letting people tell you that you need to have designer. Like, I really personally do not feel no type of way. And then since summer's coming up in spring, I'm gonna love wearing sandals. I don't care that I'm not wearing Nikes or Jordans. I'm gonna wear my sandals. You're not gonna tell me what brand is what I need to have on. I can get a nice outfit at Target and dress that up and get compliments. I don't care about designer. That's what I wanted to get into. So I hope you do buy that Shein cart, and I do hope you get those sandals, because it doesn't matter what brand they are.
And hey, that designer stuff is only worth about $10 in reality. They just slap their logo on it.
Of course. And you can make your own designer. How about you?
Yeah, you be the designer.
Yeah, you learned about business. Go put some of that in there, okay? All right, and that's a wrap. I really thank you for being a part of this episode. It did take some time to get you on this episode, but you're here. All right, it's a wrap.